Hello out there, fans. Wrestling fans. If you're not a wrestling fan, once again, this is a wrestling video. So,
bye.
Bye-bye. If you want to stay and go over our predictions that we went over yesterday. So, first of all, there was a match that we didn't cover on here, mainly because I don't know if it was on the pre-show as like a last-minute thing or what, but it wasn't on the card. And it was our Raw champions, Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, against Razor and Scott Dawson, I believe it was. But basically, it was a match that was just kind of a throwaway match. If Razor and Dawson won, then they would have had a chance at the titles with teams or some bull crap, but they didn't win. So really, it was a match thrown together with no importance and didn't mean a damn thing. And I didn't even watch it. Didn't even watch it. So the first match that we went over yesterday was our Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I picked Buddy Murphy to retain, which Buddy Murphy retained. So 1 point for me. What did Diana do?
I picked Kalisto because I didn't know who the rest of them were.
Yeah. And truth be told, we didn't really watch this match either because while this match was going on, we were recording our prediction video. So we saw some highlights. Overall, it seemed like it was a pretty strong match. Some pretty cool spots that I saw. Don't have much to say about it since I said we didn't really watch it, unfortunately. So the next match on the pre-show was Rusev, the champion. Rusev Day against Shinsuke Nakamura. And I said Rusev would retain because I was just like, whatever. But Shinsuke pulled off the victory.
Damn straight.
There was a bit of a thing to it. Diana gets a point.
I do.
Lana got pushed off the ropes or whatever from Rusev and all that nonsense and hurt her ankle.
Lana hurt her ankle.
And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but all you have to do is Google Lana and her dirty feet. Diana probably has no idea what I'm talking about right now. Basically, if you
I put up a picture of Lana's dirty feet?
Yes, put it up somewhere.
Okay.
Basically, that's something that the internet was freaking out about because while she was on the floor, like in pain because, oh my god, I broke my ankle in 1,000 pieces, the bottom of her feet are like straight black. Like, it's pretty impressive, actually. But anyways, besides the point, I mean, the match itself, I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't really super exciting. It was just Shinsuke and Rusev. And
it was...
Yeah, and anyways, it was a match, and then Rusev was doing stuff, and then he was like, oh god! And then there was Lana, and she was arguing, and she got knocked off, and Rusev was like, oh, my wife! And then Shinsuke is like, bam, Kinshasa right to the back of the head.
And Lana hurt her ankle.
That's key coming up forward, but yes. So the first match on the main card, we had the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, against the man, Becky Lynch. She's not really the last kicker anymore, as we talked about yesterday, but man.
She's the man now.
Right. We both picked Asuka, and Asuka was victorious. So, point for both of us. There wasn't too much to talk about, but I did think it was probably one of the best matches of the night. It really started off on a strong note. A lot of good points, a lot of good reversals, lots of good stuff overall.
Becky had a nip slip.
Becky did have a nip slip. I forgot about that.
The screen went black, so I, doing the mature adult thing, Googled Becky Lynch nip slip, and sure enough, I got results. So yes. That was the thing.
Well, the screen did go black for like 2 seconds, and we were just kind of, what the hell is that? But I did notice afterwards she was doing something, and then I brought up the possible, did something fall out? I don't know. And apparently, that's what happened. And the whole rest of the match, you could tell her every once in a while she would make sure it was in there. And so, anyways.
Gotta keep them locked up.
Yeah, so we missed that, unfortunately.
But the guy at WWE who's keeping track, he doing his job because we saw no nip.
No nips. But other than that, it was a great match. Becky Lynch put it on. I wasn't surprised to see her lose because, like I said in the prediction video, if they made Asuka lose, that would have made her look weak. And what's the point of that? Because there is none. So, anyways, we both got points. One of the best matches, I think. If you haven't seen it and you're interested, you definitely should because that was one of the best matches of the night, honestly, overall. And it was the first one. So the next match here, we had The Bar versus The Shane and Miz.
Shane and Miz.
as we went over yesterday. And to my surprise, we were both wrong, and Shane and Miz pulled off the win. So I have no idea what they're doing. I know there was a storyline to it, and world's best tag team and co-best in the world and all that other bull crap, but I didn't think they'd go forward with it with Shane and this new we're all in charge thing, but
they did.
I guess they did, and it will probably do its usual path of the match itself was the match itself. It was pretty good. It had some good spots. I don't really remember anything too remarkable.
Shane went to the top rope and did like a 17 backflip and like.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
He wrecked himself.
I don't remember much about that, but I was genuinely shocked when I saw him do the shooting star press. I believe that's what that's called, the backflip off the top. To finish the match, I was not expecting that at all, and I loved watching the crowd's reaction. I remember specifically there's an old lady up in front in the camera, and the second he does that, she's like... And that's about how I felt, too, honestly.
That was about how Shane looked after he landed it, and Miz was, like, cradling him like a baby, because he looked like he knocked himself out, almost.
I mean, Shane's a 49-year-old guy, and he's...
Mad props.
He's not... I'm not saying he's fat. He's definitely in shape, but he's not lean and sleek like you see most people doing shooting star presses. So I was pretty impressed to see that.
Mad props.
Not expecting it. And I don't know if he's done that before. I don't know if that was the first time he's done it or not. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that move in a long time. So, but anyways, to see a 49-year-old man do it, what? Blew my mind. But besides that, I don't really know too much about the match. I saw it, but I'm saying I don't remember too many more high spots about it. It was just kind of your typical match. Had some good stuff to it. Cesaro did a swing for like 30 spins.
Swang way too much.
Yes.
I don't understand that move.
Anyways, it was a good match overall. Probably like a B overall. B minus, B plus. No, I'm just saying. Okay. It was a decent match. As far as overall the fallout, I don't know what's going on with that, but I would probably suggest that Shane and The Miz are going to hold the titles for a little while. Then they're going to lose them. They're going to have a feud where one of them turns heel, and then they have a WrestleMania match, The Miz versus Shane. That's probably going to happen. So that's a prediction for WrestleMania.
And then Shane's going to go uptown or downtown or whatever does.
Well, I just didn't think it happened because I thought Shane was going to kind of not be so much of a wrestler with the whole angle we talked about yesterday with the authority and stuff, but whatever, it is what it is. They won. So the next match that we're going to talk about is Sasha Banks versus Ronda Rousey.
Rowdy Rousey.
I picked Ronda. Did you pick Sasha or Ronda?
I picked Sasha. I thought Becky Lynch was going to come in and wreck her.
Yes, because that was an angle I was talking about yesterday, was that potentially happening, but it didn't happen. It was a straightforward match, Ronda and Sasha. Really good match. They had some great chemistry throughout the entire affair. It was kind of short. I think it was like a 14-minute match or something like that.
Sasha had a random wardrobe malfunction. She ended up choking Ronda with part of her outfit. That was cool. Yeah,
at first I thought that might have been a wardrobe, like a legitimate malfunction, but then as she started playing it up and
it was a
kind of choking her with the bank statement, I thought maybe it was a planned thing, but who knows? I don't.
Did she also bite Ronda's thumb?
Yes, the one before she bit Ronda's thumb. That was something that happened. Bit her thumb, choked her a little bit. Sasha showed she was definitely...
You're making it sound too hot. Stop it.
Could definitely play dirty. But they definitely, I think WWE is showing still that Ronda is still their star. Like I mentioned, they're going to keep her undefeated for a long time. And,
they need to stop with the ridiculous eye makeup, because by the end of the match, it's on Sasha Banks' chin.
Which I thought was funny, because for a while there, she did have something on her chin until the ref said something to her, I'm pretty sure, and then she's like, oh. And then she was all clean.
It was Ronda Rousey's dumbass eyeshadow.
I don't want to talk too much about the future repercussions of this match, because that ties into the later Royal Rumble, so we'll get there when we get there. But I do want to shout out that after the great match was over, they go back and forth, and Ronda's holding Sasha's hand, and like, great job, and yay. And then, Sasha kept going back and forth, looking like she was getting a little bit more pissed each time. I thought she was going to, like, turn heel and kick some ass, but she didn't. But as she walked away, she shot the four horsewomen which I think is a precursor to what's going to happen inevitably at some point in the future. Just to clarify, I did look it up because I was curious what they were called exactly. It's the four horsewomen of UFC and the four horsewomen of WWE. That's what that whole thing was. Either way, 4 women going at it in the Survivor Series one day.
Still too many horses.
And too many women. Not enough women, more horses. Anyways, moving on. The next match was the Women's Royal Rumble, which I, at this point, picked Alexa or Charlotte. And Diana, what did you pick?
I was agreeing with you.
You were agreeing with me.
I
well,
didn't. But I am taking a point.
Take it.
Because for the Men's Royal Rumble, I put Hornswoggle down. And guess who came out from under the ring?
That was the Men's Royal Rumble.
I still called Hornswoggle as a surprise.
You can have a half point.
I'm taking a point.
The match itself, it was actually a really good match. I enjoyed a lot of it. There's some good spots. There weren't really any legends coming out. There was no Trish Stratus. There was no Lita. There was no Beth Phoenix. So all of my predictions of surprises, nothing. I was surprised to see Casey Catanzaro.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome, and she came in there and she surprisingly kicked some ass. Casey Catanzaro from
American Ninja Warrior.
Yes, I remember we watched her on American Ninja Warrior all the time, and then I found out she signed for the WWE.
Well, she formerly
Whenever.
retired from Ninja Warrior to do WWE. She had a whole speech.
Yeah.
But she came out, and I didn't think she was ready for that yet.
And she looked really good. And then she did some spider monkey bullcrap on the outside and did this hot maneuver of wrapping her legs around the post and climbing back in the ring. Check that out if you haven't seen that clip yet.
And boys.
Oh, man, it was awesome. Anyways, I'd love to be that ring pole. So anyways, it was a good match. Really enjoyed it. Big surprise, at the end. Continue.
Lana hurt her ankle.
Right, big surprise at the end. Lana comes out. I've got a hurt ankle. Oh my gosh.
She does the slowest, most pathetic fake lip ever.
Well, she came out at 28, and then I think by the time 30 came and went, then she was like, "Okay, I'm still halfway down the aisle."
At this point, she was laying on the ground, like she had collapsed in pain.
And then that's when Becky Lynch came out and was like, "Throw me in the match." And I was like, shit, Becky Lynch is now just going to win this Royal Rumble match.
Shit.
And sure enough, she came out, kicked some ass, and there was some good spots with, Charlotte, and I think Alexa was towards the end too, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Alexa, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, whoever the hell else was out there at that time. I don't remember who the last 4 were.
Was Nia still in it?
Yeah, Nia.
Because they had to take Nia out as a team.
Blah, blah, blah.
Just look up Alicia Fox's hat and her temper tantrum. That's all I'm giving you.
That was the low point of the Royal Rumble.
That brought back memories of why women weren't taken seriously in wrestling.
That was supposed to be a comedic moment, but that was kind of cringy. But it's all good. Our predictions were thrown out the window because Becky Lynch jumped in and won it. And so that leads to what I was saying earlier, kind of what I talked about in the predictions. She is going to face off against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania because that's who she's going to pick. But moving on, the next match was the WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, and I was right in the sense that I said Daniel Bryan would win. It was pretty obvious. I think any person who kind of follows wrestling knew that would happen. So, but yeah, I like AJ Styles, but I knew that he's not looking to be champion again. So this should, I think, maybe end their feud, but maybe not. I don't know. The key point to bring out about this was the very end of the match when Eric Rowan came out in the flannel-looking shirt, similar to what Daniel Bryan wears, and helped Daniel retain the title. So obviously they're making AJ look strong because he didn't really lose. He actually won because he put Daniel Bryan in the Styles Clash while the referee was down and won. Oh, geez. But then there's interference, so of course. But so this makes AJ look strong. They can maybe move him to Raw, like I mentioned, as a strong person to kind of take over the face of that area in the Raw. But SmackDown, I think Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan, might be forming a new faction, perhaps. Maybe Eric Rowan and another person that's yet to be named joins Daniel Bryan, and the three of them kind of take over, kind of like Legacy did back in the day with Randy Orton and Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes. Maybe a little triple faction. Anyways, I think it could be a thing. Daniel Bryan, Eric Rowan, and I don't know who else. I don't think Luke Harper would join them.
The Lumberjacks.
But who knows? Maybe they'd bring someone random up. Maybe it's just some random guy. No idea. But it could be an interesting thing to keep forward as a nice heel faction to run SmackDown for a while. Because Daniel Bryan will most likely be champion for a while. So we'll see how that goes. But, just keep track of the faction. It could happen. Next match on the card was Finn Balor, not the Demon King, versus Brock Lesnar. And as we both talked about, no Demon King means no win, and that's exactly what happened here. But I was almost on the fence of maybe they're going to give him a win. Just because Finn Balor came out looking strong, kicking some ass.
Major ass.
He was actually kicking his ass real hard. Took him outside, shoved him stomach first into the corner of the announce table twice.
Scratched him up.
They talked about the diverticulitis in his guts, and they played that up a lot, and Brock Lesnar played up very well, actually. My abs are hurt, can't pick them up, and things.
Well, he has two faces, so it's not hard.
Anyways, he did a great job. Don't listen to Diana. Did a great job actually selling that because, of course, with how big and strong he is, he could pick up 4 Finn Balors. And he was like, I can't pick up Finn Balor and suplex him because my guts are killing me now. So he did a great job selling it. So kudos to him.
Awkward shout out to the weirdo in the third row who printed out numbers on his printer to hold up for the suplexes.
Everybody does that.
He was too proud.
Although I am disappointed that he didn't hold up suplexes. Remember, later. But anyways, doesn't matter. Later on in the Royal Rumble match, there were suplexes that he should have been
counting. They were suplexes.
Anyways, so that was actually a really good match. At the very end of it, of course, Finn Balor looked like he was going to win. He was kicking ass to just coup de grace. And then Brock Lesnar kicks out, puts him in a Chimera lock, and taps him out relatively quickly, actually.
Yeah.
It wasn't even much of a, oh, he's in a submission. Oh, he already tapped out. Okay.
Yeah, by the time you realized he was in the submission, he was done.
Yeah. So that was a pretty quick tap out. So they still preserved Brock Lesnar's win. But they made Finn look strong, but I still don't think.
Still, it's physics.
I know. David versus
this man
Goliath.
Versus this. Well, the David and Goliath thing they played up in the beginning, I thought that was a build up to David's gonna kick Goliath's ass.
Well, David did kind of kick Goliath's ass, but
and then Goliath sat on David.
Yeah. Anyways, it was a good match. It was better than I thought it would be, but like I said, Lesnar sold his beating pretty well, and
it was better because I'm heinously sick of Brock Lesnar matches, and it wasn't bad at all.
I want to say that, I don't know if Finn Balor is going to go on to actually do anything else now, though, because he had his match and he lost, and I don't think he's going to be in the title picture because someone else won the Royal Rumble not named Finn Balor. So he'll probably be the one that dethrones Brock Lesnar, and so Finn Balor is probably just going to be flopping around in the mid-card again, maybe vying for the Universal title, or not the Universal, but the Intercontinental title, so I feel kind of bad for him because I do think he deserves the title run for a while, but who knows if he gets it when he gets it. But it was a good match. I did enjoy it. Brock did sell things very well. I did find it interesting, right after Royal Rumble, they showed the clip from last WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar came out and just after beating Roman Reigns and threw his title at Vince McMahon right in his face. And then Vince was like, "Hey, asshole!" And it was a very heated moment, and I guess I kind of knew about this a little bit. There was some stuff going on backstage, but kind of interesting to see the footage of it, whether it was a work or whether it was real life, I don't know. But I guess overall, Lesnar said he was pretty much done. Like I said, whether this is real or fake, I'm not really sure. But he did say he was done with this shit because he was pissed off that the fans were booing him and saying this is boring throughout the match. And so he came out and was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm done. Take your fucking belt. I'm done." So,
but since he's a part-time champion, he got over it within the next 2 months before he showed his face again.
Yeah, well, making millions for a match a month, and we'll do that to you, right? But anyways, I thought that was kind of a cool little thing, and I was like, oh, shoot, like that's pretty intense. Throwing your belt at the owner of the company, like, wow.
That's a pretty blatant you.
Yeah. But anyways, that was a good match overall. I did enjoy it. That was, I thought it'd be kind of a snooze fest, but that was probably one of my favorite matches of the night. So, and then after that, there's only one more match.
What could it be?
All right, so the final match of the night was the men's Royal Rumble match. And I think now at this point, the energy's back up in the pay-per-view. Pay-per-view kind of died off right after the women's Royal Rumble. It was all exciting and Becky Lynch came out. Then Daniel Bryan and AJ come out and have kind of a slow match. And it was kind of
It was very serious and quiet and methodical. And I baked cookies because I got bored.
And then it started to kind of pick back up. And then there was the Finn and Brock. And it was like, oh, shoot. And then it was like men's Royal Rumble, and the hype was real. And it started out, with Elias doing his thing, being entertaining as usual. Diana's pick, which is not good if your pick is number one.
I was really excited because I knew he was going to perform. I dropped my marker. And then I also got immediately sad because he was number one.
But they came out with number 2 with the shock return of Jeff Jarrett, which was pretty interesting. Don't mind her. I'll just keep talking. But it came out with the shock return of Jeff Jarrett, who's been gone doing TNA crap and all that fun stuff.
How old was he?
How old is Jeff Jarrett? He was a wrestler in like the mid-90s for the WWF.
When he first came out, he looked hella old, and then when he was wrestling, he didn't look as old. So I was just trying to kind of place him.
I don't know.
He was wearing nipple gel.
Diana, put up how old he is right here. That's how old he is.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad I know that now.
I'm guessing it's like 50s. But I don't know, whatever. But anyways, he came out with shock return. I've since found out he signed a contract with the WWE. He's going to have a backstage role, but he's also going to have some camera time as well, supposedly. So him and Hurricane Helmsley, Hurricane, the hell's his name? I think his name is Shane Helmsley or the Hurricane. All right, Hurricane Helms. Don't listen to her. She doesn't know what I'm saying right now. But stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. And I believe he signed a backstage deal as well.
I'm standing back.
Good. But other than that, after that, it was great. Like setting the bar. Ooh, Jeff Jarrett's in there. Elias breaking guitars. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was still a great match. Like, I'm not criticizing the match at all. But just like the women's, there was no real legends. Kurt Angle came out, but that was expected. I don't know if he was even... I'm not sure if he was supposed to be in it, if that was one of the confirmed entrants, but whether I knew that or not, I figured he would have been in it. So I was like, oh, Kurt Angle, of course, will be in it. But there was no real surprises. We had Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano come in from NXT. We had Pete Dunne come in from NXT UK.
He was cool.
You didn't like his wardrobe, though.
He kind of looked like a man lady, and he was wearing a women's swimsuit as an outfit. But I loved how he was like all short and stocky, and he'd bumble over to people and just grab their thumbs and be like, and then they're like on the ground. There
was a moment where I don't know if it was he did something with popped a finger out, and then I think it was Drew McIntyre. It was just like. And popped it back out. It was kind of gross, but
it was cool. Drew McIntyre's hot.
I think it was Drew McIntyre. I don't remember who it was, but yeah, Drew McIntyre is such a hottie. Oh my god! You know who's hotter? Heath Slater, and he wasn't in the match.
He's got kids.
He does have kids. All the ladies want that ginger. You know what I'm saying?
I want none of it.
Other than that, I picked John Cena to still be in the match. He was not in the match. I guess actually Braun Strowman was a replacement for John Cena, which I didn't know that until last night, so my bad. Velveteen Dream was not in it. KO and Sammy were not in it. Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were not in it. And Batista was not in it. Shawn Michaels was not in it. And Hornswoggle was also not in it.
He was in it.
So none... If you would have told me yesterday none of my predictions would have came out, I would have said you're full of crap, but literally none of my surprise predictions came out.
But. Number 30.
Number 30.
R-Truth.
Which we called, didn't we? We said 30 would come out, and he either wouldn't come out or he'd come out and get his ass kicked.
Thought Batista was going to kick his ass.
Well,
somebody.
I thought it would have been KO if that was the case.
Okay.
A heel wasn't.
I kind of thought like maybe Batista would make a surprise entrance, like, "Oh, bitches, you thought R-Truth was 30. Look at me, my nose rings are back in town." He's got 2.
He does, yes. It was just a weird point to pull out of nowhere like that. So
we discussed this yesterday. I'm all about the personality and the weird stuff, not the method.
Fair. Yeah, so R-Truth comes out. He's like, "What you saying? What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?" And then
and who comes out?
gets his ass kicked.
Tell him who it was.
By Nia Jax.
She kicks his ass, and then she comes out and jumps in the match.
Yes. The 4th woman to be in the Men's Royal Rumble match.
Yes, and I was a little let down. I'm not talking shit about Nia Jax, but for everything I was thinking, number 30, gonna be someone big, come out and take a spot. And
like
the
some
fact,
storyline stuff, but you know.
And the fact it was just kind of a goof. Like Nia Jax coming out isn't groundbreaking because she's the 4th woman to enter, not the 1st. And she came out to basically lose. So
well, she did eliminate at least one dude.
I think she'd eliminate somebody. I don't remember who it was.
Mustafa.
It was Mustafa. Yeah.
And then she leveled that other guy whose name I can never remember.
Cien Andrade Alamis. Andrade Alamis.
I don't even know what you just said, but she smacked his butt. Not literally. I didn't want to say
being,
ass.
she did her thing, and then she got a 619. She got an RKO, and what else did she get? She got a super kick from Dolph Ziggler. So that was pretty cool. And then she got her ass thrown out by Rey Mysterio
at this point,
and Randy.
I had my hopes that like Dolph or Randy was gonna win, or Rey Mysterio. I love Rey Mysterio. He was one of my guesses for a surprise entrant last year.
I think he wasn't last year.
I didn't think he was.
I think that's when he returned.
I don't remember being that excited.
Diana, put up above whether or not he returned last year at the Royal Rumble. Yes or no?
Royal Rumble.
Did he return? Yes or no? Anyways.
Now that I know that.
So anyways, that being said, then it came down to the final 4 were Rollins, Strowman, then I think it was Andrade and Ziggler. I think was the last 4.
Ziggler! Yeah.
I think those were the last 4. So basically out of the last like 6, my 3 picks were there. So I mean, and then of course Rollins won, which
I was hoping it was Ziggler.
I would love for Ziggler to win and get a push again, but that's probably not going to happen. And as is the case pretty much every year with Ziggler, some are saying this is potentially his last match because his contract expires, I think today, what is it, the 28th?
Mm-hmm.
I think his contract expires today. Or that's the end of the month, so a couple days from now. But anyways, so some are saying he's expiring and potentially moving on or retiring or something.
Is he going to go to All Elite Wrestling?
He might go to All Elite Wrestling. That's a possibility. Follow Jericho. He'd probably get treated better there because WWE does not give him the respect he deserves.
He's a badass.
I like Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler is awesome.
But anyways, the point being, without making this too much of a ramble, Seth Rollins wins. Does some curb stomps the hell out of people. Takes the victory. And
as did you.
As did I, even with your cheat point.
Not a cheat point.
Just because you get a prediction right doesn't mean you get a point. If I would have got all those, you would have given me like 6 points.
I would have given you a point. It's on the board. You get a point if it's on the board.
Okay. Regardless, doesn't matter. I win. Put that up above. But, yeah, so...
you be careful or I'm going to do to you right now what I do to Sheamus on the TV.
Good. So, Rollins won, and she puts ball sacks on the TV. It's... people wear hats. It's...
Only Sheamus. Really. I don't like Sheamus.
It's not that cool when it gets sticky stuff on her TV.
It's funny. I'm 12.
So, anyways, I don't remember what I was saying because you're talking about balls on the TV. So, Rollins wins, and I think Rollins then challenges Mr. Brock Lesnar for the title, and Rollins will be the one to dethrone him at WrestleMania.
Assuming he doesn't hurt his knee again.
It's not really that funny. That's pretty gross, considering the injury. And the fact he's carried the company for the last like 2 years.
Considering how dumb and overplayed his knee brace
He is
was.
he's one of the best people in the damn company.
He'd take a shoulder hit and grab his knee.
No, he would not.
He did.
This is it's kind of similar to the Daniel Bryan hate she has, which is really just kind of gross. She has the same thing for Seth Rollins, so I don't know why. I really don't, but it's okay. She'll get over it eventually. So that being said, that is kind of our Royal Rumble reactions and recap.
What did you think of the Rumble as a whole?
As a whole, I thought it had some good points, had some bad points.
Like you rated this and only this match with a B+.
Yeah.
What is your rating?
It's not my favorite Royal Rumble of all time. Mainly because of the 2 Royal Rumble matches. I thought both of them had some good points, but they were kind of lacking. You know, I definitely appreciate the WWE bringing up NXT and things like that to promote the future of the company.
But you want to get those legends, those shock and awe moments. Like, holy crap, I haven't seen that person wrestle.
No legends, no returns. Like, usually Royal Rumble's all about those returns. Like, oh crap, Kevin Owens is back, or, you know, John Cena's back from his injury, or, you know, whoever else. That's like one of the big moments back in the day. John Cena coming in at number 30, kick some ass and win.
Wow.
You know, as a surprise entrant because he was healed. But anyways, those things happen all the time. Like, oh, this person's back from injury. Here they are. Here's, you know, Doink the Clown, Diesel, Razor Ramon, Hornswoggle. This was random, like, haha, like, obviously they're not going to win, but it's still like, oh, nostalgia or return. And there was none of that. And that's kind of disappointing to me. You know, having Pete Dunne and stuff was good for the match. They did great. You know, nothing bad against them. But, you know,
they're focusing more on their developmental talent than shock and awe factor.
But Nia Jax. Nia Jax, R-Truth, when you could throw in a return or a legend.
I mean, that could be building to something. Maybe she's going to challenge a dude at WrestleMania.
Highly doubtful.
I had to pull something out to defend it. I don't know.
Highly doubtful. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. I don't really want to give it a grade because I don't know. I haven't given enough thought yet to be put on the spot like this. But I don't know. It's probably in that B minus range overall for me. Like, it was good, but it wasn't like the best Royal Rumble I've ever seen. And like I said, this was my favorite event. So if it doesn't really meet to the standards, I don't know. But overall, it was good. There were some good matches, you know, good singles matches in there. The only match that I didn't even really care for was AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and I like both wrestlers. But they were just kind of a slow, methodical match, and then aggressive was pretty good though. I guess my point is I'm basically grading the B minus based on just the Royal Rumble matches themselves, but at the same time, the other singles matches were pretty great. But the Royal Rumble is the Royal Rumble. That's what it's about. The title. So the single matches were fantastic. Some of them were A's, but the Royal Rumble matches, they were all right. Not bad, not great, just good. So, anyways, that pretty much does it for our 2019 Royal Rumble recap and revisiting of our predictions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my ramblings of wrestling. If you don't like wrestling, I'm surprised you got through this far. And if you do like wrestling, hopefully you don't think I'm a moron. Because you're like, yeah, right, you son of a bee.
Your mom's name is Bridget. You're the son of a bee.
Oh, I didn't get that joke at all. But yeah, you're right.
That was funny.
It's pretty funny. Hilarious. So anyways, if you liked that joke, go ahead and hit that like button. If you thought that was pretty lame,
like it anyway.
I guess you can like it. How about you like this if you didn't like the joke? Give us a thumbs up if you like that joke. Give us a thumbs down if you didn't like that joke. Just do something. Go ahead and comment below what your favorite moment of the Royal Rumble was if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, then give me your comment below of maybe some questions you might have for me. Anyways, we don't do just wrestling videos, we do a lot of other bullcrap. Check out our other bullcrap videos too. Okay. And we'll catch you next time on another Quest Accepted talks about wrestling.